Hello, gorgeous people. How are we doing today? I would love to know if you hop on and join me. Say hello. Tell me how you are. Tell me how you found day one. Have you done the work? Have you been getting clear on your vision? Are you starting to understand what it is you're trying to manifest? I would love to know, and bear with me a moment while I get the video up so I can see your gorgeous comments as they come through. So bear with, where am I? There I am. Oh, morning, Sharon Gorgeous. How are we doing? I would love to know. Hi, Grace. Morning. You've been listening to day one at the moment, but loving it so far. Oh, fabulous. I'm so pleased to hear it. So yesterday was all about getting really clear on our vision. It was about understanding what is this business that we're trying to create? What is the business that will mean success for you? And I say success for you because what success looks like for one of us might be very, very different to what it looks like to someone else. So what I know in my own business is that the times that I tried to create goals that felt misaligned, like someone else's goals, I didn't hit. It was the times that I really tuned in with myself, really tuned into what does my heart actually desire, that I then could create a vision from that and could actually create the business I wanted. And I'm actually doing that at the moment in terms of my next level, because there's always a next level, right? There's always more that we can do, another level to get at. Sharon, you haven't written in your workbook. You've been really thinking about what is the long-term vision for your business. Perfect. So I invite you to get comfy, get a little nest ready, and we're just going to settle in before we begin, because today we are going to go through an energetic upgrade. What I mean by that is often the thing that can stand in the way of us creating this dream business is ourselves, right? It's our own self-sabotaging, it's our own blocks, it's our own not believing it's possible and not feeling like we're worthy. And we're going to go into those blocks in a lot more detail tomorrow, but today we're up-leveling our energy, up-leveling the person we are being. So get yourself comfy, a little nest ready. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm around a bit this morning, so my energy's a little bit up here. So let's take a moment, settle in. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to that gentle rise and fall of the belly. Just allowing that mind to slow down a little bit. Allow that nervous system to calm down just a little bit today. And if you're finding you're feeling a little bit more scattered than usual, and you may find it helpful to imagine roots coming from the base of spine. And imagine those roots moving down through your floor, and going down further and further until they reach the earth. And imagine those roots splaying outwards, grounding you down. Those roots feeding from the energy of the earth, settling down the system. Feel that beautiful, nurturing energy of the earth. And I invite you now to bring to mind this long-term vision we started to think about yesterday. All the things you're going to be doing, creating, having. Allow those images or that feeling to just play out in front of you. What impact are you having on the world? How are you supporting your clients? What transformations are they seeing, experiencing, having? What services are you offering? How are you delivering those in a way that feels absolutely fabulous to both you and your clients? And I invite you now to zoom in on this version of you that's doing it. Notice how she presents herself. Can you hear the beliefs and thoughts that go on within her? What does she know to be true? And I invite you to imagine that you're stepping into this version of you now. Notice the clothes that you're wearing, your level of confidence, how you hold yourself differently, the things you allow yourself to have. the beliefs that you have about yourself and your business. Allow that energy to fill you up now. Allow that to integrate within you. Allow that to feel normal, effortless, just the way you are. And start to consider, how do you spend your time? This version of you? What support do you have in place to deliver on your vision? How do you run your business? How serious do you take your business? How much do you prioritize it? And bringing this energy with you, I invite you to open your eyes, and you're going to need a pen and paper for this. And on a piece of paper, I invite you to draw 3 columns. And I'm showing you it, but I haven't drawn the columns yet, so I don't know why. So 3 columns. And at the top of the first column, you're writing being. At the top of the second column, you're writing doing. And at the top of the third column, you're writing having. Now, this is the process I go through myself when I'm looking to up-level myself, up-level my business, take my business to the next point that I want to get to. So that could be around the impact I want to make. That could be around the financial goals I have. That could be around the things that I want to start doing more of or less of. And in this first column, I want you to start writing down, as this version of you that's making this vision a reality, how is she being? How is she being that's different to how you are being now? So I'll give you a moment to write that down. And as you think of things, feel free to pop them in the comments. I would love to see what comes through for you. And then once you've done that column, in the next column, you're going to write down, what is she doing? So this can be things that she's doing in her business, outside of her business, anything that's different to what you are doing now. Can you hear my dog barking downstairs? And again, feel free to pop anything in the comments that comes through for you. I can hear my husband also getting annoyed with the dog. And in the final column, you're writing having. So in terms of your business, this could be what support have you got in place. This could be things that you need to buy for your business. There could be, you know, even things like as you stepped into that version of you, perhaps she was wearing different types of clothes that made her feel more confident or more empowered. So write that down. Maybe it's around the people you've got in your life or your business to help you. So that could be, she might have a cleaner, she might have a childminder, she might have a particular piece of equipment that you've been putting off buying. She might have a coach or a mentor. She might have, there's 1,001 things she might have, but for you, what is she having that's different to what you have now? So, as and when you finish that up, feel free to share in the comments what was the main things that came through for you, or perhaps even one thing that made you think, oh God, yeah, of course I would have that in place. And as you're doing that, I'll share a little story about when I first did this exercise. So I probably did this exercise years ago now when I was first starting my business. And I was in this really funny place, I think, in my head where I was wanting to be taken seriously and I wanted to attract the clients in and I wanted to help people and I wanted to make money because I was like making no money in my business. Yet I wasn't dealing with it or thinking about it in terms of it being a serious business. I had in my head it was a bit of a hobby. And because I was thinking it was a bit of a hobby, then so were my clients. I wasn't being taken seriously. So it wasn't until I started to take my business seriously that I then started to see the results. So when I looked at these 3 columns under being, I was being really flippant about my business. It was a kind of, oh, it'd be nice, you know, it'd be nice to have if it happened, but there was no kind of, I'm going to make this happen. It was very much, you know, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, well, I wasn't being visible. So I wasn't being visible online. My social media was appalling. My marketing was terrible. You know, all of those things were misaligned to this vision I was trying to create. In terms of what I was doing, I wasn't spending enough time on training in people. I wasn't spending enough time in terms of actually thinking strategically about this being a business. The truth was, I didn't have a clue about any of that. I didn't know how to do any of that. And so when I came to column 3, I had this kind of light bulb moment of, well, clearly, if I knew this was going to happen and I knew I was going to make it a reality, I'd be getting more. And it was off the back of that I decided to sign up with a coach, because I was like, well, I don't know how to do all of these things. Clearly, it's important for my business. So if I knew I needed to do that, then surely I would get the support to make that happen. I also did a number of other things in my business. So I bought better equipment. I actually paid for a photography session, so I had marketing images that I could use. I actually, I'm trying to think what else I remember actually going out and spending some money, which I didn't ever do on myself at that stage. Going out spending money on some new clothes, so I actually felt okay to be visible. I went and got my hair done. You know, all of these things, which may sound like silly things, but to me, they were really important. And they were stopping me from showing up as the fullest version of me. Let me just see your comments as they're coming through. You're being happy, free, joyful, engaged, connected, occupied, but not stressed. Fabulous. You're doing woodland retreats for 2 people, couples or 2 people sharing that you offer. All the treatments that and you're trained for sounds beautiful. You're having fun, money able to travel in the winter. Fabulous, love that. Would be working in summer, peace of mind, financial security. Fabulous. What I would say is, so why aren't you doing that now then? Because this is what this exercise helps us to do. It helps us to go, right, okay, I just need to create it now. There's nothing stopping you, nothing holding you back. We're going to take this a bit deeper though. So when it comes to running a business, whether that's online business, whether that's an in-person business, whatever business, there's a number of steps we have to go through in order to get sales. Fabulous. Just saw your comment, Sharon. Perfect. So there's a number of things we need to go through in order to make sales, to actually sell our services. So I'm going to ask you some more questions, and these are also going to be in your workbook as well, so that you can spend some time with it. But off the top of your head right now, this version of you, how is she bringing potential customers into her world? And pop it in the comments. See what comes through for you. And this is a good question because it was something I hadn't even thought about, other than thinking I'll put out a newspaper ad or newspaper. How old am I? But, you know, I'll put a website up and just magically hope people find it. Or I'll put a post on Facebook and surely someone will see that, you know. So how are you bringing potential customers into your world? The next question you need to ask yourself is, how are you then building a relationship with those people and establishing trust? The thing is, people don't just buy from random people, especially if you're offering something like healing services or services where people have to be really vulnerable with you and share a great deal of personal information. How are you building that connection and trust with potential clients so that people can come to you easily? They know that they can work with you effortlessly. They know that they're in safe hands. Question number 3. So this version of you, and you may have already thought about this, what services or products is she selling? So we're starting to think about, how are we getting people into our world? How are we then establishing that relationship, that trust, getting people to know you? And then once you've got that community, once you've got that audience, what is it you want to offer them? What is it that would truly light you up? Or is it you know that your clients would just find fabulous and transformational and, you know, they wouldn't have a reason to say no? Why wouldn't they? So what is that service or product you're offering? Get really clear on that, and really clear on the transformation you offer, what that delivers for the person. Because here's one of the things that we can do, and it was a mistake that I made time and time and time again. When we know our services, and we know our services inside and out, right? And, you know, like say I'm a Reiki master, I'm a specialist in Ayurveda, you know, I'm trained in a number of different modalities. And so for me, the benefit those things give is just obvious. Whereas our clients or potential clients may not know what that is. So it's really important we can communicate what is the level of transformation, the level of healing, the level of benefit that that person's going to receive from your service. Number 4, how is she selling? Now, if you're anything like me, when I first started selling in my business, it felt icky. It felt a little bit uncomfortable. I had this voice in my head that was like, who the hell do you think you are? You know, this kind of, and I was so worried about being perceived as some kind of sleazy salesman, or I would see like a car salesman in my head every time I had to sell something. So thinking about this version of you, how is she selling? How does she make it effortless? How does she make it easy? How does she present it in a way that feels really authentic, really aligned? And your audience can't wait to buy from you. How is she selling? And number 5, what support does she have in place in her business? And that level of support will be different depending on what it is you want to create. At the moment, you may have like a really small dream that you secretly hope will turn into a big dream. What I know is the times that I've got support in my business have been the times that I've managed to up-level my dream, up-level me, up-level my results, even before I felt I was ready. So for example, when I first started, I didn't have, you know, I didn't have sales coming in. I didn't have, you know, I wasn't making a lot of money in my business, but I got a coach first. One of the mistakes I see people make is saying, I will have that thing once I've got to this level. Often we have to get the support in place before we can get to that level. So I signed up to work with my first coach before I had anything. But I had this understanding that actually I was never going to get to that level unless I knew what I was doing, unless I had that accountability and I had that support. So other things for you might be, so for example, I also have 2 people that do my admin for me, mainly because I can't bear admin. It doesn't light me up. It's not a good use of my time. That's time that could be spent with me creating products, creating services. But again, I made that jump, I made that leap to get those people in before I felt ready. I hope this is making sense, because I knew that I wasn't going to get to that level unless I had the support in place to support me to get there. For you, it might be something completely different, but it's a really important question. What support does this version of you that's living this dream have in place? So those are your questions to consider for today. They will be in your workbook. Spend some time on this. But most importantly, start doing something with this today. Start being this version of you. Start doing the things that she would be doing. Start having the things that she would be having. And like I say, that may sound backwards, but my experience has always been, and the experience of my coaches and mentors, is you get these things in place first, and then see the results. And we know this, we're manifesting, right? If we're trying to bring something in, we've got to act as if it's already here. We've got to be showing up as if it's already done. So go have fun with this today. Share your results in the group. I would love to hear, and I would love to hear what you're doing with it. And if you haven't already, have a look at day 1. Get really clear on that vision, because you're going to need it in order to make this happen. Okay, lovelies. Well, I will see you tomorrow for day 3. If you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I can't wait to hear what you're going to be doing in your business. Take care. I will see you soon.